Now I know you guys are out there practicing social distancing, but let's talk about voting. Now, I've received a couple of emails and also been looking on my social media, and I've just noticed that a lot of you are really getting down in the dumps about voting. Why is that? Star, I don't want to vote because I don't like Joe Biden or Donald Trump, so it don't even matter. Star, I don't want to vote because my vote don't count anyway, so it don't even matter if I make it to the polls. I don't want to vote because I don't want no dang jury duty. You know they get your jury duty from, you registering to vote. I can't vote because I've been to jail like 10 years ago, and so I can't vote now. Guess what? All of those, the majority of those, are all lies.
The lies! The lies!
So today on Let's Talk About Votes, we're going to talk about voting myths and why you shouldn't believe them. Now, sadly, there's a lot of lies out there, but we're just going to tackle just a few of them so that you're feeling more comfortable and, able to breathe and just relax when it comes to voting.
Woosah.
So let's get started. Myth 1. Presidential elections are the only ones that matter. So that's false. We've talked about this many times before. Although the presidential election is important, the most important ones are the ones happening right in your own backyard, in your own community. You need to be voting for your police chiefs, for your district attorneys, for your school board, for your mayors. Those type of situations are so important and vital when voting. Also, voting for measures, different laws and stuff in your states. They're different from when it comes to the presidential election. So don't be fooled into thinking that voting for Trump or Biden is the only important decision you're making when you walk into the poll. Myth 2. If you don't register to vote, you won't be put on the jury duty list. Au contraire, you will be put on the jury duty list. As long as you have an ID with a number on it, they can find you. Don't think that not registering to vote will keep you off of jury duty. You gonna get this jury duty. Myth 3. College students have to vote where their parents live. No, sir, no, ma'am. You can register to vote wherever your school ID is also issued. So if you live in California, but you go to school in Texas, if your school ID is issued in Texas, you can register in Texas. Make sure to also look up each state and their rules and their bylaws for however they go about voting. Every state is different, but make sure to check it out because it's not all the same. Myth 4. You can't vote if you have a felony. Well, that's just a load of bull. Did you know that in Montana, you lose your voting rights the moment that you become incarcerated, and upon your release, your voting rights are automatically reinstated. Every state is different. Make sure to look up your voting laws in your state to see that if you're eligible, whether you've been incarcerated, felony, misdemeanor, whatever it may be, and see that you can still vote. Check the laws of your state. Please check. Myth 5. If you're homeless, you aren't allowed to vote. And that just ain't the truth. As long as he or she has a valid ID with a physical address on it, that person is eligible to vote, homeless or not. Myth 6. My vote doesn't count. I love this one because this one is always over-perpetuated by a stereotype.
Ambiguity that I feel never justifies itself. There's always the pungent odor of life's constipation that surreptitiously conflicts with the detrimental instability hitherto for.
Child, think for yourself and go vote. It's always the people who have the most to say that don't do nothing at all. They don't vote, they don't register, but always have the most to say about who became president and what laws were passed. But did you vote? But did you register? No, you didn't do either. Civil rights was fought for and won so that you can have and exercise this right. So go do it. And myth 7. If I can't make it to the polls on election day, I can't vote. And that couldn't be any further from the truth. There are designated polling places that you can drop your ballot and ballot sites before election day. Absentee ballots, which is going to be a thing in November due to COVID-19. There are so many other options to have because everybody cannot take off work on election day, even though it is a requirement. So make sure you check what your states have available for you, and don't miss your opportunity to vote or come up with an excuse not to on Election Day. And that's my little tidbit of information for today. Make sure that you register to vote today. It's getting closer and closer to that time, y'all, and we got to make sure that we're ready and able and willing to get out there and have our voices heard. Make sure to go to www.vote.org to register today. And there's other places that you can register too, but that's just the only one I'm going to talk about today. Make sure you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.
This is a Swift production.